Okay, we're rolling. Um, Hello everyone. So yes, I'm back here in the rooftop, with some adjustments made. As you can see, more plants, more table, and more big wooden sofa at the side. The time, as I record this, is 20 minutes past 1 on Black Saturday 2026. I don't know if this will be regular occurrence here on this channel or on these channels. I just want to rant about something or just yap a lot since I don't really have anything else to release other than this, of course. I'll be releasing this in around 11 and a half hours. So, yeah, it's a tight deadline, I would say, and I'm getting a lot lazier. Like, like I have a mic. I usually use my phone as a microphone, but I don't even do that anymore. Like, you can hear the reverb, you can hear how not great is the quality of this video is. Like, look at me, I'm so near to the camera. You don't realize just how near I actually am on the camera, because in your perspective I'm like a decent distance away from the camera. Like, this looks like a meter or two, or half a meter, but no, this is like really close. Like, my goodness, the camera right now is quite close, like a lot closer than you may expect. So from the last video that I have made, there's one thing that I have not really realized until I watched the video back. I have big arms. Like, they're not huge, but they are not tiny either. Like, just me doing this and then wearing a tank top, or in this case, a clovers jersey. I don't really realize just how big my arms really are. I haven't been going to the gym in around, how many months has it been since I went to the gym? Like 6 months? Yeah, it's been at least half a year since I last went to the gym, which is quite long, I would say, in terms of keeping this muscle mass. Well, it's not huge, I'll admit that. I will say that openly. These arms are not huge. These biceps are abysmal in a grand scheme of things. These are not big. Some would say it's small. But when I watch the video back, when I watched the video back from my last upload, from my last video, like, I was like, damn, my arms are huge. Well, not really huge, I'm exaggerating. But they are big. They're not tiny. Like, okay, I will watch myself. Okay, look. Look at me tense up. Look. Just, yeah, it's covered by the shadow of my arm, but I think you can see just how big it could get. But anyways, enough about the flexing or whatnot. There's some news that I have missed, including some developments on the Iran war. Well, the US-Israel war against Iran. I will ask Google Gemini. Let's see, updates from the Iran war. I have also heard the breaking news that the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi, has been fired by President Donald Trump, which is, if you just think about it, really big. That's a quite huge development, like even bigger than these arms. Like, the Attorney General was the one behind the release of the Epstein files, which, as you may or may not know, are this files are these files, photos, and videos of records that have been kept, that have been preserved by the late notorious sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. And those files were just a lot. That's not even the full release of the files. A lot of them have been redacted as well, but there have been loopholes that have been found to see the text in those redacted files. Like, you just copy the redacted text, then you paste it somewhere else, like Google Docs, Microsoft Word, or any piece of software that can put text in it. And then boom, you see the full unredacted text. Anyways, I have now these updates. There's Operation Roaring Lion, or Epic Fury. I think those are two different operations carried out by Israel and the US respectively. The IDF and US forces have continued a, quote, precision campaign to dismantle Iran's ballistic missile infrastructure. On April 2nd, a strike in the Kermanshah area reportedly eliminated the commander of Iran's Central Ballistic Missile Unit, Makram Atimi. The April 6th deadline. The Trump administration has issued a final warning that the U.S. will conduct extensive attacks on Iranian energy sites if the Strait of Hormuz is not reopened by April 6th. That's just 2 days from now, or 3, depending on the time zone. Despite U.S. claims that the threat is, and I quote, nearly eliminated, Iran and its regional proxies have continued to launch missiles and drone salvos. Recent strikes have hit northern Iran, Tel Aviv, and Bnei Brak, and triggered interceptions by Saudi Arabian air defenses. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned of a wider war and called for an immediate ceasefire. However, Iran remains defiant, reportedly demanding reparations and control over the strait as conditions for any dialogue. So, yeah, a lot has happened. And the effects of the Iran war are immense. Every single country is going through yet another cost of living crisis. Because, especially here in the Philippines, we get our oil from the Middle East. And that oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, which is both tiny in terms of straits and bodies of water, and incredibly important in terms of the surrounding nations and the resources of those surrounding nations. So, even here in the Philippines, where it is thousands of kilometers away from the Middle East, we are being hit heavily from this sort of war that is actually unprovoked. Like, President Donald Trump really just wanted to score political points from this war, and it has backfired immensely. The war, or the action that President Trump took, backfired miserably. It was not great from the start. It really should end now, and no one is a winner in this process. Everyone lost. The US, Iran, the Middle East in general, and the entire world. The entire world suffered because of this war. Not ideal. Yeah, it's definitely not an ideal way to deal with things. Diplomacy should have been the right path, but as you may or may not know, President Donald Trump's forte is do this because of this, do this because of this, do this because of this. He will make up something, so he will lie to do true things that will do real harm. This is a pattern that has already been witnessed in Trump's first term from 2017 until 2021, and for some reason, no one learned their lesson. But, oh well, I guess over 7.5 billion other people will suffer the consequences of an election that was only conducted, or that was only participated by around 150 million people, which is larger than the population of the Philippines. But then again, like, the US presidential election is watched by the entire world. Like, if you think about the ways of governance, like just how that nation, or like how that country will govern and how that country vote. Like, the US currently has an electoral system to vote for the president using first past the post and then the electoral college, which is why there are only 2 candidates. Any other candidate that will participate in the presidential election is considered a spoiler, and because of quirks of the electoral college and first past the post, the other side wins. So, yeah. Not great. But anyways, back to my what if. If the US implemented ranked choice voting for its president and vice president, whether elected jointly or separately, and then implemented single transferable vote, and then implemented compulsory voting, then moved their election day to a Saturday, maybe even Sunday, or even a Monday on a holiday, maybe even a Tuesday on a holiday. Or who knows, just any day of the week that is also a public or national holiday, or federal holiday. Then implemented a compulsory voting, aggressive voter education, lowering the voting age to 16, all of that, radical reforms to the US electoral and political system. The US president will remain the most powerful man in the world because of all of its resources, wealth, population, and influence. Even if the US shifted to a parliamentary system, the prime minister of that country will be the most powerful man on earth. Like, we have here in the Philippines, we use the same system as the US, except for the electoral college thing. We use first past the post, full stop. And yeah, our president is really powerful. He also has the power, or the ability to implement executive orders. But then again, he's only the most powerful man in the country, not in the world. We don't really have a lot of influence. We're the junior in terms of influence. We're the junior nation in terms of influence. Like the US, France, the EU, the UK, they would be the senior ones. Actually, China as well. They would be the senior partners, the senior nations in terms of influence. And then we'd be the junior ones. You could say that that's not ideal, but I'd say that it kind of is, because we really have a lot of potential as a nation, and we are fairly young in the grand scheme of things. We're only around 120 years old. So we still have a lot of time to, like, really show to the world how capable we really are. We just need to fix our electoral and political systems first, and also make drastic changes to our culture. Like, Roman Catholicism in the country, in the Philippines, is really baked deep into the national psyche, the national zeitgeist, the national culture. Like, we should tone it down a bit, since since us as millennials and Gen Zs and Gen Alphas now have the upper hand now, since we're the most populous demographic in the country. Anyways, yep, I've been yapping for 16 minutes now. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Black Saturday to every single one of you. And I hope and pray that you will have a happy and healthy life. Yes, happy and healthy indeed. It is Black Saturday after all. Quite interesting that this would be one of the only times that I have openly talked about my religion in such a positive light, not in a neutral or negative kind of way, because I'm still a Roman Catholic after all. I'm not that against religion. I just don't practice it openly. Anyways, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Do stay safe out there. And I don't ask this very often from you guys, but please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I have not said that sentence in 4 years. So yeah, that's new indeed. Anyways, look at these plants. Look, just should I put these plants as my new background? Like, the lighting here is not great already. Like, we could maybe test some things. Like the background. Like, look at this background. It contains nothing. Well, that's also because there's no light to show that something. So these plants could be a good addition or good background. Maybe you'd just be distracted. But anyways, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.